Have you ever been scrolling through your feed? You see a friend on some amazing vacation, or maybe a coworker pulls up in a brand new car, and you just think to yourself, how? How is everyone affording this stuff? If you've ever felt that little pang of falling behind while it seems like everyone else is living these huge lives, you are so not alone. But what if I told you that most of the wealth you're seeing, well, it isn't quite what it seems?
Okay, so here's how we're going to break this all down. We're going to start with what I call the fake rich illusion. Then we'll deconstruct the dream, really get into the numbers. After that, we'll uncover the invisible safety nets that you just don't see. We'll touch on the psychology of the comparison game, and then, most importantly, we'll talk about how you can start building your real wealth.
All right, first up, let's just set the stage here. We need to tackle that one huge question that I know is on your mind probably every single day.
Yep, this is it. This is the one. The question that just echoes in your brain when you see the sprawling houses, the shiny new SUVs, the non-stop stream of life updates. It really feels like you're missing some secret, right?
Well, the secret starts right here. The truth is, a lot of those lifestyles that seem so impossibly out of reach are, well, they're an illusion. They're a carefully constructed performance, often built on a financial foundation that's way, way shakier than you could ever imagine.
So let's pull back the curtain and actually deconstruct this stream. Let's look at the cold, hard math behind the two biggest symbols of making it in our culture, that perfect house and that brand new car.
The whole dream usually kicks off with owning a home, right? But check this out. In 2025, the median, that's the middle price for a home in the US, is a whopping $400,000. And that's just the starting line.
Now that $400,000 price tag isn't a one-time thing. Once you factor in the mortgage, today's interest rates, property taxes, insurance, that median house is costing its owner at least $3,000 every single month.
And here's where it gets absolutely insane. For someone earning the median income, which is around $60,000 a year, that single $3,000 house payment eats up a staggering 60% of their gross before tax pay. Just to put that in perspective, most financial advisors say you should keep that number under 30%. We're talking double the recommended amount.
This leads to a really common trap called being house poor. And this isn't just about, skipping a few dinners out. It means you have a beautiful house, but you have no money for anything else. One unexpected car repair, one medical bill, and the whole thing can come crashing down. It's a life lived under this constant cloud of financial stress.
And of course, we can't forget the car in the driveway. That just pours gasoline on the fire. A typical payment for a new SUV these days? About $900. Then you add $200 for insurance, another $200 or more for gas and maintenance, and you are easily looking at another $1,300 a month vanishing from your bank account.
So, you'd think with these massive expenses, people must be really wealthy, right? Well, here's the kicker. The actual net worth, what people own minus what they owe, is shockingly low. For someone under 35, the median is just $39,000. And even for people in their peak earning years, between 45 and 54, it's less than $250,000. A huge chunk of that is just equity in their house, which is not cash they can actually use.
Okay, so if the math doesn't even come close to adding up, how in the world is anyone managing this? Well, that leads us to our next point, the invisible safety nets, the hidden support systems that are almost never, ever talked about. Okay, this is a huge piece of the puzzle right here. A full one-third, 1 out of every 3 young adults are living at home with their parents. Think about that. By completely eliminating rent or a mortgage, their single biggest expense, they instantly free up thousands of dollars every month. Money that can go straight to a fancy car, vacations, and all the other things that look like wealth. And it's not just free rent. On top of that, about half of parents are giving regular financial help to their adult children. We're talking an average of nearly $1,500 a month. That's a car payment. That's a student loan payment. That's a significant chunk of change, all happening completely behind the scenes.
So, all of this creates what you could call the invisible income effect. You're out here comparing your own financial life, based on what you earn, to someone else's lifestyle that's being propped up by thousands of dollars of invisible help every single month. You see, it's not a fair comparison. It was never a level playing field to begin with.
So why does all this have such a powerful, almost magnetic pull on us? Well, there are some pretty deep psychological reasons why we are so hardwired to feel like we're constantly falling behind.
For almost all of human history, our reference group, the people we compared ourselves to, was tiny. It was our family, the people on our street, our coworkers. Our whole frame of reference was local and, frankly, pretty manageable.
But today, our reference group has exploded into something unimaginable. It's not just our neighbors anymore. It's literally millions of the richest, most successful, best-looking people on the planet all mashed together into a highlight reel that we carry around in our pockets. We're comparing our normal, average Tuesday to the top 0.1% of everyone else's best moment. It's a game you can't win.
Okay, so knowing all this, how do we break free? How do we escape this trap? Let's pivot and talk about the solution. Let's talk about how to actually opt out of the performance and start building genuine, lasting financial security for yourself.
You know, it really starts with a simple mindset shift. First, you have to decide what success actually means to you, not what it looks like on someone else's Instagram feed. Second, you have to make a conscious choice to ignore what everyone else is projecting. And third, and this is so important, you have to start celebrating your invisible wins, paying down a chunk of debt, hitting a savings goal. That's real progress.
And the math on opting out? It's not complicated, but it is incredibly powerful. Just look at this. By choosing a more modest place to live and driving a reliable, paid-off car instead of chasing the newest model, you can easily free up over $1,000 a month. That's money that can go toward building actual wealth, investing, saving, creating a safety net.
And please, always remember the hidden trade-offs. The person with that perfect house, they might be working 70-hour weeks and are totally miserable. That flashy car, it might be needing ramen noodles for dinner and having zero retirement savings. You only ever see the prize, you never see the price they paid for it. At the end of the day, this is what it all boils down to. Real wealth isn't the stuff you can buy. It's the absence of financial anxiety. It's freedom. It's having options. It's the security of knowing you can walk away from a terrible job because you can afford to. That's the real prize.
So I want to leave you with this one question to really think about. Take an honest look at your own financial life. Are your time, your energy, and your money focused on building something real, something sustainable for your future? Or are they being spent performing wealth for an audience that doesn't really matter? The answer to that question could change absolutely everything.
If you liked this video, hit that subscribe button for more updates and cool tips.